Standard 10, Science and Technology Part 1, Chapter number 5, Heat. Introduction. Can you recall what is the difference between heat and temperature? Answer. 1. Heat. Heat is a form of energy. Temperature. Through the temperature, the quantum of the heat of the substance is expressed. 2. Heat. Particles of matter, atoms, molecules, etc. possess potential energy and kinetic energy. Total energy, potential energy plus kinetic energy of all particles of matter in a given sample is called its thermal energy. Temperature. Temperature is a quantitative measure of degree of hotness or coldness of a body. 3. Heat. When two bodies at different temperatures are in thermal contact with each other, there is transfer of thermal energy from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. Temperature. Temperature determines the direction of energy transfer. 4. Heat. Heat is explained in joule, calorie and erg. Temperature. Temperature is expressed in degree centigrade, degree Fahrenheit, K Kelvin. What are the different ways of heat transfer? Answer. Conduction, convection and radiation are the ways of heat transfer. In the previous standard, we have learnt about heat and different types of heat transfer. We have also performed few experiments related to expansion and contraction of solids, liquids and gases. We have learnt about the difference between heat and temperature. We have also seen how temperature is measured using a thermometer. Concepts like latent heat of phase transformation, anomalous behavior of water, dew point, humidity, specific heat capacity, etc. are related to certain phenomena experienced by us in our day-to-day life. Let us learn more about these concepts. Latent heat. Try this. Take a few pieces of ice in a glass beaker as shown above. Insert the bulb of a thermometer in ice and measure its temperature. Put the beaker on a stand and heat the ice using a burner. Record the temperature using the thermometer after every minute. As the ice is heated, it starts melting. Stir the mixture of ice and water. Continue the heating even after ice starts melting. Draw a graph of temperature versus time. You will observe that the temperature of the mixture remains 0 degrees centigrade till the ice melts completely. If we continue heating, even after conversion of all the ice into water, the temperature of water starts rising and reaches 100 degrees centigrade. At this temperature, water starts converting into steam. The temperature of water remains constant at 100 degrees centigrade till all water converts into steam. The graph of temperature versus time is shown above. In this graph, line AB represents conversion of ice into water at constant temperature. When ice is heated, it melts at 0 degrees centigrade and converts into water at this constant temperature. The ice absorbs heat energy during this transition and the absorption of energy continues till all the ice converts into water. The temperature remains constant during this transition. This constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called the melting point of ice. Thus, during transition of solid phase to liquid, the object absorbs heat energy, but its temperature does not increase. This heat energy is utilized for weakening the bonds between the atoms or molecules in the solid and transform it into liquid phase. The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called the latent heat of fusion. The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called the specific latent heat of fusion. Once all the ice is transformed into water, the temperature of water starts rising. It increases up to 100 degrees centigrade. Line BC in the graph represents rise in temperature of water from 0 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade. Thereafter, even though heat energy is supplied to water, its temperature does not rise. The heat energy is absorbed by water at this temperature and used to break the bonds between molecules of the liquid and convert the liquid into gaseous state. Thus, during transformation from liquid phase to gas phase, heat energy is absorbed by the liquid, but its temperature does not change. The constant temperature at which the liquid transforms into gaseous state is called the boiling point of the liquid. The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of liquid into gas is called the latent heat of vaporization. The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a liquid to convert into gaseous phase is called the specific latent heat of vaporization. Different substances have different melting points and boiling points. The values of melting point, boiling point, and latent heat depend on atmospheric pressure. Substance: water, ice. Melting point: 0 degrees Celsius. Boiling point: 100 degrees Celsius. Specific latent heat of fusion: 333 kJ per kg, 80 cal per gram. Specific latent heat of vaporization: 2256 kJ per kg, 540 cal per gram. Substance: copper. Melting point: 1083 degrees centigrade. Boiling point: 2562 degrees centigrade. Specific latent heat of fusion: 134 kJ per kg, 49 cal per g. Specific latent heat of vaporization: 5060 kJ per kg, 1212 cal per gram. Substance: ethyl alcohol. Melting point: -117 degrees Celsius. Boiling point: 78 degrees Celsius. Specific latent heat of fusion: 104 kJ per kg, 26 cal per gram. Specific latent heat on vaporization: 8540 kJ per kg, 200 cal per gram. Substance: gold. Melting point: 1063 degrees Celsius. Boiling point: 2700 degrees Celsius. Specific latent heat of fusion: 144 kJ per kg, 15.3 cal per gram. Specific latent heat on vaporization: 1580 kJ per kg, 392 cal per gram. Substance: silver. Melting point: 962 degrees Celsius. Boiling point: 2162 degrees Celsius. Specific latent heat on fusion: 88.2 kJ per kg, 25 cal per gram. Specific latent heat of vaporization: 2330 kJ per kg, 564 cal per gram. Substance: lead. Melting point: 327.5 degrees Celsius. Boiling point: 1749 degrees Celsius. Specific latent heat of fusion: 26.2 kJ per kg, 5.9 cal per gram. Specific latent heat of vaporization: 859 kJ per kg, 207 cal per gram. Use your brain power. Is the concept of latent heat applicable during transformation of gaseous phase to liquid phase and from liquid phase to solid phase? Answer: yes. The concept of latent heat applicable during transformation of gaseous phase to liquid phase and from liquid phase to solid phase. Where does the latent heat go during these transformations? Answer. During these transformations, the latent heat is given out by the substance to the surrounding. Regulation. You may have seen the preparation of an ice ball. First, an ice slab is shredded and then the shredded ice is pressurized around the tip of a stick to prepare the ice ball. How does the shredded ice convert into solid ice ball? If two small pieces of ice are taken and pressed against each other, for a while, they stick to each other. Why does this happen? Answer. Because of the regulation process, the process happens like shredded ice conversion into solid ice ball. Small pieces of ice stick to each other when they are pressed against each other for a while. The phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to applied pressure and then reconverts to ice once the pressure is removed is called regulation. Try this. Take a small slab of ice, a thin wire, two identical weights. Activity. Put a slab of ice on a stand as shown above. Hang two equal weights to the two ends of a metal wire and put the wire on the slab as shown in the figure. What do you observe? It is observed that the wire gradually penetrates the ice slab. After some time, the wire comes out of the lower surface of the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break. The phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to applied pressure and then reconverts to ice once the pressure is removed is called regulation. The melting point of ice becomes lower than 0 degrees Celsius due to pressure. This means that at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice gets converted into water. As soon as the pressure is removed, the melting point is restored to 0 degrees Celsius and water gets converted into ice again. Use your brain power. In the above experiment, the wire moves through the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break. Why? Answer. In the above experiment, the wire moves through the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break because when the thin wire with two equal weights attached to its ends is hung over the block of ice, it exerts pressure on the ice below it. Due to this, the melting point of the ice below the wire is lowered and some ice melts. The wire passes through the water so formed. The water above the wire is no longer under pressure and therefore refreezes. Once again, the ice below the wire melts and the wire passes through it and the process continues. In this way, due to alternate melting of ice and refreezing of water, the wire cuts right through the block of ice, leaving the block intact. Is there any relationship of latent heat with the regulation? Answer. Relationship of latent heat with the regulation is as follows. When ice melts, heat is absorbed, but the temperature does not change. Also, when water freezes, heat is given out, but the temperature does not change. This heat absorbed or given out is the latent heat. You know that as we go higher than the sea level, the boiling point of water decreases. What would be the effect on the melting point of solid? Answer. As we go higher than the sea level, the pressure on substances decrease. Due to decrease in pressure, the boiling point of water decreases, but melting point of ice increases. But the melting point of most of the substances increases by increasing the pressure. Can you tell? We feel that some objects are cold and some are hot. Is this feeling related in some way to our body temperature? Answer. We feel that some objects are cold and some are hot. This feeling is related to our body temperature in the following way. If the temperature of the object is lower than our body temperature, example, ice, we feel the object is cold. If the temperature of the object is higher than our body temperature, example, hot water, we feel the object is hot. Anomalous behavior of water. In general, when a liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, and when cooled, it contracts. Water, however, shows a special and exceptional behavior. If we heat water from 0 degrees Celsius up to 4 degrees Celsius, it contracts instead of expanding. At 4 degrees Celsius, its volume is minimum due to contraction. If the water is heated further, it expands and its volume increases. The behavior of water between its temperature from 0 degrees centigrade to 4 degrees centigrade is called anomalous behavior of water. If 1 kg of water is heated from 0 degrees centigrade and its volume is plotted as a function of temperature, we get the graph shown as above. At 4 degrees centigrade, the volume of water is minimum. It means that the density of water is maximum at 4 degrees centigrade. Study of anomalous behavior of water using Hope's apparatus. The anomalous behavior of water can be studied with Hope's apparatus. In Hope's apparatus, a flat bowl is attached to a cylindrical container as shown above. There is provision to attach thermometers above to measure temperature T2 and below to measure temperature T1. The flat bowl on the cylindrical container. Water is filled in the cylindrical container and a mixture of ice and salt, freezing mixture, is put in the flat bowl. During the study of anomalous behavior of water using Hope's apparatus, temperature T1 and T2 are recorded after every 30 seconds. The temperatures are plotted on the y-axis and the time in minutes on the x-axis. The graph is shown above. The graph shows that initially both the temperatures T1 and T2 are identical. However, as time passes, temperature T1 of water in the lower part of the cylinder decreases fast, while temperature T2 of water in the upper part of the cylinder decreases comparatively slowly. However, once the temperature T1 of the lower part reaches 4 degrees Celsius, it remains almost stable at that temperature. T2 decreases slowly to 4 degrees Celsius. Thereafter, since T2 starts changing rapidly, it records 0 degrees Celsius first, and after that, the lower thermometer T1 records 0 degrees Celsius temperature. The point of intersection of the two curves shows the temperature of maximum density. How can we explain these observations? Initially, the temperature of water in the middle of cylinder lowers due to freezing mixture in the outer bowl. Since the temperature of water there decreases, its volume decreases and its density increases. The water with higher density moves downwards. Therefore, the lower thermometer T1 shows rapid fall in temperature, and this continues till the temperature of water becomes equal to 4 degrees Celsius. When the temperature of water starts decreasing below 4 degrees Celsius, its volume increases and density decreases. It therefore moves in the upward direction. The temperature of water in upper part, T2, therefore decreases rapidly to 0 degrees Celsius. The temperature of water in the lower part, T1, however, remains at 4 degrees Celsius for some time and then decreases slowly to 0 degrees Celsius. Use your brain power. How will you explain following statements with the help of the anomalous behavior of water? 1. In regions with cold climate, the aquatic plants and animals can survive even when the atmospheric temperature goes below 0 degrees Celsius. Answer. In regions with cold climate, the aquatic plants and animals can survive even when the atmospheric temperature goes below 0 degrees centigrade. We can explain this statement in the following way. Due to the anomalous behavior of water, its density is higher at 4 degrees centigrade. In cold regions, when the temperature of the atmosphere falls down, the water at the surface of lakes and ponds starts contracting. Hence, its density increases and it sinks to the bottom, and the water of less temperature uplifts to the surface, then it is converted into ice. But the water below the layer of ice is at 4 degrees centigrade. Ice is bad conductor of heat. Hence, the layer of the ice at the surface does not allow transfer of heat from the water to the atmosphere. As the water below the layer of the ice remains at 4 degrees centigrade, fish and other aquatic animals and plants can survive in it. 2. In cold regions in winter, the pipes of water supply break and even rocks crack. Answer. In cold regions in winter, the pipes for supply break and even rocks crack. We can explain this statement in the following way. In cold regions, the temperature of the atmosphere falls below 0 degrees centigrade in winter. When the temperature of the water falls below 4 degrees centigrade, it expands and ice is formed. There is an increase in the volume. At this time, as there is no room for expansion, water or ice exerts a large pressure on the pipes. Hence, the pipelines carrying water burst. Same happens with the water which enters into crevices of the rocks, and the rocks break up into small pieces. Dew point and humidity. About 71% surface of the earth is covered with water. Due to constant evaporation of water, water vapor is always present in the atmosphere. The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere helps us to understand the state of daily weather. The presence of water vapor in the air makes it moist. The moisture in the atmosphere is called humidity. For a given volume of air at a specific temperature, there is a limit on how much water vapor the air can contain. If the amount exceeds this limit, the excess vapor converts into water droplets. When the air contains maximum possible water vapor, it is said to be saturated with vapor at that temperature. The amount of vapor needed to saturate the air depends on temperature of the air. If air temperature is low, it will need less vapor to saturate the air. For example, if temperature of air is 40 degrees Celsius, it can contain 49 grams of water vapor per kilogram of dry air without condensation. If the amount of vapor exceeds this limit, the additional vapor will condense. However, if the temperature of air is 20 degrees Celsius, it can contain only 14.7 grams of water vapor per kilogram of dry air without condensing. If the vapor contained in air is less than the maximum limit, then the air is said to be unsaturated. Suppose unsaturated air at a certain temperature is taken and its temperature is decreased. A temperature is reached at which the air becomes saturated with vapor. This temperature is called the dew point temperature. The vapor content in the air is measured using a physical quantity called absolute humidity. The mass of vapor present in a unit volume of air is called absolute humidity. Generally, absolute humidity is measured in kg per m3. The feeling of humid or dry nature of air not only depends on the amount of vapor in the air, but it also depends on how close that amount is for making the air saturated with vapor. It means that it depends on temperature of the air also. The ratio of actual mass of vapor content in the air for a given volume and temperature to that required to make the air saturated with vapor at that temperature is called the relative humidity. Percent relative humidity is equal to actual mass of water vapor content in the air in a given volume upon mass of vapor needed to make the air saturated in that volume into 100. The relative humidity at the dew point is 100%. If the relative humidity is more than 60%, we feel that the air is humid. If the relative humidity is less than 60%, we feel that the air is dry. During winter season, you may have observed a white trail at the back of a flying plane in a clear sky. As the plane flies, the vapor released by the aeroplane engine condenses and forms clouds. If the surrounding air is having more relative humidity, it takes a long time for the white trail formed by condensation of the vapor to disappear. If relative humidity of the surrounding air is less, either the size of the white trail may be small or it may not even get formed. Try this. Take a bottle of cold water out of a refrigerator and keep it outside for a while. Observe the outer surface of the bottle. Drops of water can be observed on the outer surface of the bottle. In the same way, if we observe the leaves of plants, grass, or window glass of a vehicle in the early morning, we see water droplets collected on the surface. Through these two observations, we sense the presence of water vapor in the atmosphere. When air cools, due to decrease in temperature, it becomes saturated with water vapor. As a result, the excess water vapor gets converted into tiny droplets. The dew point temperature is decided by the amount of vapor in the air. Unit of heat. The units of heat are joule, J, in SI units, calorie, in CGS units. The amount of heat necessary to raise temperature of 1 g of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius is called 1 cal heat. Similarly, the amount of heat necessary to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius is called 1 kcal heat. It is clear that 1 kcal is equal to 1000 cal. Always remember, if we heat 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius in different temperature range, then 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius, the amount of heat required will be slightly different. It is, therefore, essential to define a specific temperature range while defining the unit of heat. Calorie and joule are related by following relation. 1 cal is equal to 4.18 joule. Introduction to scientist. James Prescott Joule, 1818 to 1889. He was the first person to show that the kinetic energy of tiny particles of matter appears as heat energy, and also that energy can be converted from one form to another. Conversion of heat energy to work gives the first law of thermodynamics. The unit of heat is called joule, J, after him. Specific heat capacity. Try this. Material: a tray with thick layer of wax, solid spheres of iron, lead and copper of equal mass, burner or spirit lamp, large beaker. Procedure: take 3 spheres of iron, copper and lead of equal mass. Put all the 3 spheres in boiling water in the beaker for some time. take the 3 spheres out of the water. All the spheres will be at temperature 100 degrees Celsius. Put them immediately on the thick slab of wax. Note the depth that each of the sphere goes into the wax. The sphere which absorbs more heat from the water will give more heat to wax. More wax will thus melt and the sphere will go deeper in the wax. It can be observed that the iron sphere goes deepest into the wax. Lead sphere goes the least and the copper sphere goes to intermediate depth. This shows that for equal rise in temperature, the 3 spheres have absorbed different amounts of heat. This means that the property which determines the amount of heat absorbed by a sphere is different for the 3 spheres. This property is called the specific heat capacity. The amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of an object by 1 degree Celsius is called the specific heat of that object. The specific heat capacity is denoted by letter C. The SI unit of specific heat is J per degree Celsius kg and the CGS unit is Cal per G degree Celsius. Substance, water, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 1.0. Substance, paraffin, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.54. Substance, kerosene, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.52. Substance, aluminium, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.215. Substance, iron, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.110. Substance, copper, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.095. Substance, silver, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.056. Substance, mercury, specific heat Cal per G degree Celsius 0.033. If specific heat of an object is C, the mass of the object is m, and if the temperature of the object is raised by heat given T degree Celsius, the heat energy absorbed by the object is given by m into C into heat given T. In the same way, if specific heat of an object is C, the mass of the object is m, and if the temperature of the object is decreased by dT degree Celsius, then the heat energy lost by the object will be m into C into heat given T. Heat exchange. If heat is exchanged between a hot and cold object, the temperature of the cold object goes on increasing due to gain of energy and the temperature of the hot object goes on decreasing due to loss of energy. The change in temperature continues till the temperatures of both the objects attain the same value. In this process, the cold object gains heat energy and the hot object loses heat energy. If the system of both the objects is isolated from the environment by keeping it inside a heat-resistant box, meaning that the energy exchange takes place between the two objects only, then no energy can flow from inside the box or come into the box. In this situation, we get the following principle. Heat energy lost by the hot object is equal to heat energy gained by the cold object. This is called as principle of heat exchange. Measurement of specific heat, mixing method and calorimeter. The specific heat of an object can be measured using mixing method. For this, calorimeter is used. You have learnt about calorimeter in the previous standard. If a hot solid object is put in the water in a calorimeter, heat exchange between the hot object and the water and calorimeter starts. This continues till the temperatures of the solid object, water and the calorimeter become equal. Therefore, heat lost by solid object is equal to heat gained by water in calorimeter plus heat gained by the calorimeter. Here, heat lost by the solid object Q is equal to mass of the solid object into its specific heat into decrease in its temperature. Similarly, heat gained by the water Q1 is equal to mass of the water into its specific heat into increase in its temperature. Heat gained by the calorimeter Q2 is equal to mass of the calorimeter into its specific heat into increase in its temperature. Heat lost by hot object is equal to heat gained by calorimeter plus heat gained by water. Q is equal to Q2 plus Q1. Using these equations, if the specific heat of water and the calorimeter are known, the specific heat of the solid object can be calculated. ICT. Prepare a presentation using videos, pictures, audios, graphs, etc. to explain various concepts in this chapter. Collect all such material from the internet using information technology. Under the guidance of your teachers, arrange a competition of such presentations in your class. Solved examples. Example 1. How much heat energy is necessary to raise the temperature of 5 kg of water from 20 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius? Given M is equal to 5 kg, C is equal to 1 kcal per kg degree Celsius, and change in temperature heat given T is equal to 100 minus 20 is equal to 80 degrees Celsius. Energy to be supplied to water is equal to energy gained by water is equal to mass of water into specific heat of water into change in temperature of water is equal to M into C into heat given T is equal to 5 into 80 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 400 kcal. Hence, the heat energy necessary to raise the temperature of water is equal to 400 kcal. Example 2. A copper sphere of 100 g mass is heated to raise its temperature to 100 degrees Celsius and is released in water of mass 195 g and temperature 20 degrees Celsius in a copper calorimeter. If the mass of calorimeter is 50 g, what will be the maximum temperature of water? Given specific heat of copper is equal to 0.1 cal per g degree Celsius, and so specific heat of calorimeter is equal to 0.1 cal per g degree Celsius. Suppose the copper ball water and the calorimeter attain final temperature T. Heat lost by solid object is equal to heat gained by water in calorimeter plus heat gained by the calorimeter. Here, heat lost by the copper ball is equal to mass of the copper into specific heat of copper into decrease in temperature of the ball. Q is equal to 100 into 0.1 into 100 minus T. Similarly, heat gained by the water is equal to mass of the water into its specific heat into increase in its temperature. Q1 is equal to 195 into 1 into T minus 20 and heat gained by the calorimeter is equal to mass of the calorimeter into its specific heat into increase in its temperature. Q2 is equal to 50 into 0.1 into T minus 20. Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. 100 into 0.1 into 100 minus t is equal to 195 into 1 into t minus 20 plus 50 into 0.1 into t minus 20. 10 100 minus t is equal to 195 t minus 20 plus 5 t minus 20. 10 100 minus t is equal to 200 t minus 20. 210t is equal to 5000. T is equal to 23.8 degrees Celsius. Therefore, maximum temperature of water will be 23.8 degrees Celsius. Example 3. If 80 g steam of temperature 97 degrees Celsius is released on an ice slab of temperature 0 degrees Celsius, how much ice will melt? How much energy will be transferred to the ice when the steam will be transformed to water? Given, latent heat of melting the ice is equal to L melt is equal to 80 cal per g. Latent heat of vaporization of water is equal to L vaporization is equal to 540 cal per g. Mass of steam is equal to m steam is equal to 80 g. Temperature of steam is equal to 97 degrees Celsius. Temperature of ice is equal to T ice is equal to 0 degrees Celsius. Heat released during conversion of steam of temperature 97 degrees Celsius into water of temperature 97 degrees Celsius is equal to m steam into L vaporization is equal to 80 into 540. Equation 1. Heat released during conversion of water of 97 degrees centigrade into water at 0 degrees centigrade is equal to m steam into heat given T into C, that is equal to 80 into 97 minus 0 into 1 is equal to 80 into 97, equation 2. Total heat gained by the ice 80 into 540 plus 80 into 97 from equations 1 and 2 is equal to 80 540 plus 97, that is equal to 80 into 637, that is equal to 50960 cal. Some mass of the ice, m ice, will melt due to this heat gained by the ice. Then m ice into L melt is equal to 50960 cal. M ice into 80 is equal to 50960. M ice is equal to 637 g. Thus, 637 g ice will melt and 50960 cal kcal will be given to the ice. Books are my friends. Read more information. 1. A textbook of heat by J. B. Rajam. 2. Heat by V. N. Kelkar. 3. A treatise on heat by Saha and Srivastava.